Hello there! I just heard GMA Network turned 75 this year. May bagong bosses, may gala sila next month. Hopefully no scandals afterwards. At syempre, may drama. Because what's a Filipino birthday party without chismis, konting tapuhan, and an inevitable confrontation over the lechon? But who are those people who initiated drama? It's not what you think pala. Hindi po yung ibang kampo ng South Triangle na walang permanent address sa FTATB. Hindi rin po yung mga panatiko ng dating presidente na nakakulong ngayon sa The Hague. Ang tinutukoy ko po ngayon ay yung mga purists nila. These are the people that watch Encantadia religiously habang kumakain ng pansit canton sa palangganan ng elementary ka. They will defend their homegrown stars with all their hearts sa Twitter o X na yon with matching hashtags and strings. Kahit mali katulad ni Julian San Jose na nag-perform ng Dancing Queen sa simbahan o may scandal sa loob ng nagbargada. Basta kung anong desisyon ng GMA, sapat na. Pero ngayon, bakit nagtatampo? Bakit kamo? Kasi daw, GMA, ang dominant kamo ni Queen, nagkakolab na with their sworn enemy. Para sa kanila, ito ay parang malaman mo yung high school bestie mong anti-social ay biglang nag-join sa TikTok dance group na kasama pa si Catherine Bernardo. Unholy alliance daw! Mas malala pa daw ito kaysa sa pineapple on pizza! But let's play a little game of devil's advocate mga be at knees. What if GMA listened to them after they hosted their annual stockholders meeting? That is, no It's Showtime, no PBB, no Star Cinema ng mga blockbusters, no BD sounds in GMA shows not on the radio nor parodied by Michael B, no Vice Ganda swoops unless on Bubble Gang. What if they want to live on their pre-2020 mentality? 100% kapuso, pure, pristine, virgin, kamaning grade beef. Siyempre, okay lang daw ang foreign collabs or domestic ones na walang experience in running a TV channel. Running Man Philippines? Go lang! Regal Studio presents? Fine! Basta, wag lang daw sila. What could their arguments be about? Argument number 1. Kasi may pera naman tayo! Yes, it's true. After 2020, when the other network went off the air, GMA was like that, lone tindera sa palengke. Lahat ng customers or advertisers sa kanya pumunta. Naging top earner, fully loaded sa ads dahil hindi kasabi ng KBP sa mahigit 20 taon. Election season, walang kaba, peanuts lang. Nakapag-produce na ng high budget shows or mega series like Maria Clara at Ibarra, Voltes 5 Legacy, and Pulang Araw. This year, we're waiting for Encantadia Chronicles Sangre. With so much money, they do have the power to acquire renowned international franchises. Family Feud, kinuha muli pero may impluensya ng dating kumuha. The Voice, kinuha rin after a few years. Collector mode activated. Or even make their own concepts like The Clash and Stars on the Floor. But purists would have their own infighting if prefer OG concepts or franchise shows. But don't mind me though. Anyway, they even revived GMA Pictures and garnered accolades in the Metro Manila Film Festival with back-to-back Best Picture entries. And even outside of that film fest, may recognition din. Pero ito nga, may pera nga, pero may impact ba? Cultural renaissance sis, yun ang kulang. Look at the case of Jeremiah Chanco. Nakapanalo sa The Clash nung one season, pero nasan na siya? Hindi na mainstay sa shows, parang filler. Samantalang si Sarah G. o Bini, sila ang moment. And I just heard na hindi siya mainstay ng AOS. If that's true, what's wrong with you GMA? Argument number 2. May spotlight kami. Indeed, GMA rules the traditional broadcast airwaves and they can do whatever they want, especially on the weekday afternoons. Their OG legacy programs will last for sure, until death of their associate figures, fatigue, and other factors. Nang tumiklop mang kalaban due to petty politics, they scoop up some big names from them. Kuya Kim Atienza, Bea Alonzo, Pokwang, Richard Yap, Jason Gainza, Boy Abunda, and so on. But at what cost? New stars in Sparkle get sidelined. Homegrown talents, nahihirapan mag-shine. After 5 years dominating, which new homegrown stars get some recognition? David Licauco? Okay. Sanya Lopez? Slay! The rest? Shubi who? Walang breakout moment, wala ring super viral new gen na kapuso icon. Si Julian San Jose, forever na lang queen of all trades, but still under-celebrated, or some haters will pull her down. Remember TikTok luck? Akala ng iba, ito ang magiging showtime ng GMA, which is ironic since Kuya Kim was a witness of that noontime show transformation, and he might see that again if that happened. Where's that meme again? Oh, There it is. Ang sagot ng GMA, hindi po, feel lang po kami, hoo. Eto na yung chance ng TVJ versus Tape Tussle of 2023-24. Pero hindi sinunggaban. Sayang! Kasi kahit konting push, baka naging daily launch favorite since Salo Salo Together or SST, which was 3 decades ago. Pero wala eh. They need lots of creative juices, apart from tanghala ng kampiyon, to expand it into 2.5 hours a day for 6 days a week habit. If you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. Speaking of creative juices, P-pop is massive. It is a clear dividing moment for the pop culture in this country of this decade. Their nearest linear FTA competitor, TV5, just had 3 dedicated P-pop reality shows, Pop Pinoy, Top Class, and Be the Next 9 Dreamers. The Funk Network, as the commoning apologists say, made Dreammaker. What about your beloved network, mga kapuso? Wala? Really? Nako, I wouldn't be surprised if Net25 is getting there. If Wilma Galvante and Eric Kizan would take that opportunity, while you will go for another The Clash. Sawang-sawa na kami, bes. Okay, what's your biggest P-pop group you have introduced, mga ka-purists? So, XOXO, with 1,000 views on YouTube and monthly listeners on Spotify? Let's compare that to Beanie. 3 decimal places more in both platforms, sold out concerts, pati sa mga music festivals, Me Morty dance steps, Pantropico and Salamin Salamin na parang national anthem. Kung ayaw ng GMA na i-play ang Beanie kasi kalaban yan, di yan ang papalit ninyo. Sila at Queendom, beautiful vocals pero walang pop culture chokehold. Parang buffet sa hotel, daming options pero walang naalala kinabukasan. Now what about sports? They got NCAA from the former rival and now reached their centennial season, which prompted the change from GMA News TV to GTV. At this moment, it's their golden moment. Ang problema, parang hindi alam ng GMA how to mine that gold orange properly since the network hasn't done their sportscast in decades. Or maybe they did. Even if it's notoriously memorable like a troublemaking basketball player or memeable like a volleyball coach's hugot, but in between comes the network-based antics like AI sportscasters and Sugod Buhay gimmick that offset the unique gains like free live stream on the league's YouTube channel. The then rival and the current One Sports never did that to UAP, as they preserved the integrity and reverence of the opposite varsity league. Well, MQuest tried to do Moneyball when they got NCAA back then, but they stopped it. When it comes to getting another sports broadcast in addition, I don't know how to say it until the end of the current broadcast contract with the college league next year. But that will be a story for another time. Argument number 3. Kasi may media mix kami. Okay, that's a good one. But let's see what happened after your high period. Dalawang regional newscasts were set up to fill the void after ABS shut their regional network group because of the franchise reduction, and after that typhoon that raged months after. You know what happened? It closed last year. Wala nang local TV news sa ilang probinsya. DTT lineup? Ever since the Reporter Box was introduced, they expanded their DTT multiplex. But Pinoy Hits and Halipop were removed last September, and this should be alarm. Regarding Kapuso Stream, he did try, 2 years late, but better late than never, right? But look at your numbers. Now let me remind you about CGMA, that attempt of a domestic paid TV channel like an Ignacian Reliance. Seen one lately? Has anyone captured from their channel on VHS? No? See? It obscured. And Kamaning never tried again. As we approach the coming impeachment trial next month against VP Sara Duterte, the opportunity exists so as not to disturb GTV and HOA. While we can no longer expect a return of GMA News TV like in 2012 on the impeachment of the Chief Justice, this could be the time DCBB should have a teleradyo feed and become part of the DTT multiplex. Yun nga, there is the opportunity, but the management prefer stupidity. If GMA stood alone, sometimes it shows the might and powerful statement, and sometimes it shows complacency. Yes, independence is poetic, pero kung pride lang dalang mo, walang progress. This is Encandadia, walang gem na maliligtas sa'yo. This is media in 2025, fast, wild, and unforgiving. So to our purest friends na nagsabing, we don't need anyone else, and GMA is better off alone. Okay, sige. So kung ikaw ang private kapuso who 1. Still thinks Mulawin is better than any MCU film, 2. Believe AOS is more iconic than ASAP, 3. Refuses to watch anything with an ABS artist in it or even refuses to watch anything that is produced or even co-produced by Star Cinema, then baka ikaw ang audience next year. From the days of Annalisa and Captain Barbell to the legacy of Pepito Manaloto and Jessica Soho and the dreams of the next breakout star, GMA has come a long way after 3/4 of a century in broadcasting. But remember, the real world isn't a fantasy. Being matatag isn't enough, evolution is essential. Collaboration isn't betrayal, it's growth, it's survival, it's relevance. So next time, a purist says, bakit may vice ganda sa GMA? Bakit may Bel Mariana sa concert special ng isang kapuso? Bakit si Donnie ang guest star sa Fast Talk with Boy Abunda o kaya sa The Bubay at Tekla Show? Because, my friend, it's 2025, not 2005.